Welcome to another Friday Night Pint Live. See, I'm here with Nikki and lots to talk about in this international break. Obviously, pressure's on Lopetegui. That we haven't had the best of starts, and now David Sullivan is reported to be revising the transfer strategies, unhappy with the work that Steidten has done, and is rumoured to be looking to shift gears to focus on championship players. So we're going to get into that. Soufal also has come out, done an interview, seems to be unhappy with the amount of game time he's received after having a conversation earlier in the season with Lopetegui, where he got assurances he would be and what that means for his future and everything else, all the other little bits and pieces in between. So, Nick, international break time. You know, usually it's slow, but when West Ham are in this situation, it's honestly, there's always plenty to talk about.
Yeah, I think the last time we had an international break, it was at the wrong time, but this time it's definitely the right time. I'd had enough of West Ham by the end of it, but yeah, a couple of weeks off. I'll be honest with you, I don't really know anything about this Sullivan changing thing. I haven't read anything about it. I haven't seen anything. I don't know whether it's true. I don't know whether it's false. I ain't got a clue. So tell me more about it.
I believe it was reported by ex-employee, and just along the lines of basically because obviously we haven't been playing well, and Sullivan is questioning the players that we've bought. He's questioning Steidten, and he's looking at it and feeling like, you know, we should change our strategy and go for more of the sort of upper echelon championship players based on our start, which I just think it's his Sullivan learning all the wrong lessons from what has happened this season, rather than sit there and go, well, maybe I shouldn't have gone for the cheap and easy option on a manager and I should have splashed out and tried to get the best manager possible. He's looking at the signings, right? He's sitting there and questioning the transfer strategy. When I look at it, and I think we've made some really good signings. I don't question the signings, but a lot of people pushed back at me when I said, we made some great signings. I look at it, I think Kilman and Todibo are class. I think Somerville, class. Wan-Bissaka. Like, I'm not judging these players on how we've been this season. You can see the quality. If I was to judge Todibo, Kilman, Somerville, Wan-Bissaka, all these players, then and they're bad players who've been playing bad. You look at how bad Bowen's looked. Paqueta, Kudus has been off the pace. Even though he's been one of our better players, he's not been up to his standards. You can look throughout the pitch. Alvarez, So even I'm not writing off Solo or Rodriguez, even though I'm not sure about him. To us to sit there and say, the signings have been crap. Like, let's judge. How can you judge the signings? Because the existing players, the top players that we've had, haven't been great. Even Areola hasn't been up to his standards. So obviously the lesson you learn is, well, maybe we've picked the wrong manager because all the players look off the pace.
Well, I mean, you can have a Ferrari in the garage, but, if there's a twat that can't drive that's driving it, it won't get anywhere. So, listen, I think Sullivan spent so many years with control. I think he's reluctantly relinquished control and given the club a new direction. And, I heard someone on TalkSport the other day saying he can't be blamed for now. I mean, he runs the club at the end of the day, so he's the one making decisions. And when I heard, when TalkSport said the other day that if we'd been beat 5-0, like a source close to David Sullivan said, even if we got beat 5-0 by Everton, the manager wouldn't be out of a job. I mean, you do start to question again, like, what David Sullivan's achievements are. And we was talking on the phone yesterday, Dan, and I said, at the end of the day, you can spend 150 million quid. We have got some good players. They have invested. But, when it comes down to, like, picking a manager, and the rumours are that he wouldn't pay £10 million for Almerim, we're always looking for, to save money on this and to save money on that. And we won't just go all out and be ambitious. A lot of that blame did fall on David Sullivan, and I think he sort of reluctantly relinquished the control. And I think it's just a time when he turns around and goes, well, look, I told you, I'll give you what you wanted, and you wanted Moyes out, and this guy's come in, and you wanted me to stop buying the players and picking the players, and you're giving it to this geezer. As soon as it starts to go wrong, I think he I think he sort of relishes in that fact, and he's just waiting to wrestle back control. But I mean, at the end of the day, from top to bottom, if something ain't working, it's down to him. He's got the power to change it. If there's a player that isn't working and is disturbing the dressing room, he's got the player to sell him. He's got the power to sell him. If there's a director of football that isn't getting in the right signings, he's got the power to change it. If there's a manager that isn't working, at the end of the day, no matter what anyone says, he's got the power to change it. So you have to. He has to take, at least part responsibility, because he chose the manager.
Yeah, everyone in it needs to look at themselves. Sullivan, Steierton, Lopetegui. Like you have to take accountability, and that's what Sullivan never does. He never takes accountability. It's always someone else. He can sit there and say, "Oh, now look, see, we got your director of football, and we got rid of Moyes, and now look, see what you get." Let's not forget the awful track record that he has had. Not just negotiating players. Let's forget how he's pissed off multiple other clubs. Sporting, where they famously called him, and Gold, rest in peace, the Dildo Brothers, because they'd upset him. Look at all the awful strikers that he signed. Yeah, the Caleris and the Zazas and all of these players that he brought in. Yeah, there was a few really good players we got when he was in charge of the players. But if you look at the percentage of good to bad, it's more bad than good. So he can't sit there and take from it of going, well, it was better when I was doing it. No, have someone proper. The thing is with Steierton, and again, there's going to be question marks over him over Guilherme, big question marks, but I'm not ruling out any Guilherme at the moment. He'll look bad, but the thing about him is he's a serious guy that these clubs take seriously. He knows more than Sullivan, and he gets players over the line for the most part. The players that we want, the Kudus is like Todibo. That wasn't an easy deal when he come back and he got Todibo. So he gets these players over the line. We don't want to go back to Sullivan, who's in less health, and is older than he was, and go back to that. The lesson is not, we'll do it my way. This championship thing, I've been hearing about us supposedly doing that for years. He's been desperate to just sign players from the championship. Let's not forget, he just gets all the wrong players from the championship. Jordan Hugill. That's what you're looking at. That's not the answer. You get a few gems, but what? Our main target now, we're going to fill our squad with championship players. What are we expecting when you have a championship team? You pick one or two gems that are ready for the next step. You don't just go around and start we get some centre backs from the championship, get winger from the championship, the goalkeeper, there's a strike, and start just focusing on the championship.
I mean, unless you're buying the very top, and let's be honest, the very top costs money now. Bowen cost money. It cost us 20 million quid from a championship team, that was pretty much near the bottom at the time when we bought them. That's a lot of money. What did Somerville cost us? 30 million?
Yeah, just shy of that, I think.
Just shy of 30 million, yeah. So they're not cheap options. Listen, I do think there's some gems in the championship. I really do think there's some gems in the championship.
You can't just sign most championship players, though. That's what I'm saying.
No, I wouldn't say that. But I'll be honest. The championship, we've got some players that are graft for you. That's the issue. Before this season, I know Bowen's fell off a cliff a little bit, but he's a grafter. He'll work as hard as he can, all day long. I think Somerville will be a top player. There are some top players in the championships, but why that sort of carrot's being dangled for the Premier League? They're not going to want to let them go easily, because they want to get players in, and they're not going to be cheap. But listen, at the moment, I think the logical choice at the moment is to change the manager, but I don't think he wants to change the manager. But look, it's
yeah.
I don't think he knows how to run I don't. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that there is question marks about some deals he's done in the past and whether he's going to get a little backhander from this and a little backhander from that. But listen, he's a businessman. He's a good businessman. But in terms of a football club in 2020 and onwards, he couldn't run a cart boot sale. These people now are meticulous, sort of like international businessmen that own these football clubs, and he's a British newspaper owner. I'll leave it at that. Publication. Yeah. That's what I'll leave it at.
Yeah, exactly. We'll get to some super chats in a minute. But yeah, so yeah, it does concern me. And someone's mentioned about Will Salthouse and things like these are people that it must tear him up inside to relinquish that control. He must hate it, and you see it because no matter what we get someone like a Tim Steidten to do, he's always going to have to answer to Sullivan. So when Tim Steidten's like, I think Amarim's the guy, like this guy is the next big manager, we should get him, he's going to do this, that and the other. Oh, he's in a job. Oh no, we've got paid. Let's talk to him. Let's fly him over. Oh no, we've got to pay him 10 million. Like, he flew him over and had a meeting with him and then decided he didn't want to sign him because we got to pay out his contract. And then we just went with Lopetegui. And you know, I feel like with the replacement for Lopetegui, we're just going to do the same thing. Like, who's available, who's cheap, who's willing to come in on a 2-year deal. You know, I just can't stand it. And it's not like we ain't got the money, because we say over and over again, Füllkrug is. We still don't know when he's back. That was just reported again. No timeline. He was photoshopped into the team photo. Apparently,
yeah. Somebody said that he was blurred out. He was blurred out the official one from the distant one because he obviously wasn't there.
Yeah, well, there was a video. I think what they've done is they got a stand-in. They got a stand-in for the video. So when they filmed it and done this filming shot, they had to blur the face because it obviously wasn't Füllkrug. And then when they've posted the photo, they've put his face on whoever the stand-in is. So yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. But that's what I'm saying. It's like, the money's that 10 million for a upcoming manager. Yeah, okay, it might not work out, but have ambition for this club, because while you don't, we're always going to have a ceiling, and other teams will overtake us and will regress. And you know, the Lopetegui thing, you know, there wasn't anyone excited about him. You know, I really want him given a chance and all of that stuff, but there's no progress. And now someone mentioned that they're talking about free hits for the Arsenal. They're viewing the Arsenal and Newcastle games as free hits. We can lose those, and that won't have any bearing on his position. So it starts after there. You know, so it.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'll be honest with you, Dan, and I've said this for years and years and years. We're never going to get anywhere under David Sullivan. The problem is, and I said this the other day, is that, you know, when we moved to the stadium, he promised some European. Well, he promised Champions League, but he's now delivered, you know, a third tier, which we are very happy with, European trophy, and I think he just thinks that's his job done. You know, he's
then leave. Then go. Your job's done.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. But that's what I'm saying. I think that he's been sort of forced into the position where he's been sort of forced to spend some money. I don't know whether Kaczynski had anything to do with that, but I also do think that he's you know, he's really biting at chomping at the bit to get back control of you know, what he buys and what he spends and things. And I don't know. I don't think we'll ever get anywhere under him. You know, it's one of them things where you go one step forward, 2 steps back. And, you know, when your big plan isn't working, you know, the plan to go back to what you was doing before when it really wasn't working is not the way forward. You know, you need to find answers. You know, you can't just try one thing and then just go, oh, no, that ain't working. We go, like, this ain't even, look, we've signed some great players. We have signed some great players. But the manager is the wrong manager. Now, I don't know whether that's Steidten. I don't know whether that's Sullivan. But what I would say is that now that there should be someone sitting there discussing and going, right, listen, 2 more losses, 3 more losses, and he's got to be out the door because this ain't working.
Just been reported now by BBC Sport is West Ham are 100% behind Julian Lopetegui. Now,
we've heard that before, though.
Yeah, I'm hoping that's the kiss of death, 100% behind. But the thing is with Sullivan is a lot of the time when he says it, he means it, because he hates sacking managers. He does not like to sack managers at all. And it really, when has he ever sacked a manager like this early? Never at West Ham. It took Avram Grant relegating us for him to get sacked.
Yeah, he sacked Pellegrini, didn't he, about December?
Yeah, but that was December of his second season.
Yeah.
He's never done it this early into a manager's tenure. So
I don't know.
That's the thing. We'll get some comments here. Super chatted Steve WHU Bells for out super chat. Thank you very much, Steve. We always appreciate you in the chat. Evening, Dan and Nick. Hope you're both well. Nice to have a week off without any dramas. On the pitch, but knowing West Ham, you never get a real break of dramas and stuff off the pitch. But yeah, it's nice not to have to watch that football for a week. Like Nicky said earlier, I was definitely happy with this international break when that came. Much needed. A few other comments here. Randy Bergstaller. Sorry, mate. David Sullivan. Bergstaller?
Bergstaller, yeah. I would say.
Yeah, well, correct us if we're wrong, mate. David Sullivan caused this entire season to burn with his stupid decision. He just wants full control again. He has enough control as it is. He needs to leave it alone or go sell. Simple as. Yep, spot on, mate. Yeah. Absolutely spot on. E20's own TV says, when we have an owner who values money over being ambitious on and off the pitch, the situation will always continue until the minute the man at the top is out. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I agree. And it's not like he don't spend. This is the thing. He can spend money, but it's just how he is with the money. Like, he's so cautious and fearful and risk averse.
I will tell you why I think he spent money this summer. But Jen Sullivan is certainly not an ambitious chairman. He is a crook. He is only interested as long as we are still a Premiership club or occasionally winning something. Anything more gets vertigo. I mean, yeah, I think he would have been happy just to hang about the Championship. I don't even think he was. I'm not saying he wasn't interested in winning anything. Obviously, I think the chairman would be interested, but I don't think he'd done much to sort of contribute to it. Do you know why I think he spent money this summer?
Yeah,
to soften the blow of the concessions.
Yeah, but it's not like he's never spent money before. Like, Moyes got more money than any other manager.
No, but you see it. It's in bits and drabs. Then it'll go ages and ages. Like, he's got this sort of like this. What do you call it? What am I going to call it? Disguise. He will sort of like balance the books and it make it look like we're spending money. You look at like. Not so much but like Sean Whetstone, for instance, he'll put out bollocks about like how we haven't got any money to spend and how this is affecting this and how this is affecting that. And then he'll sort of spend 30 million and everyone will go, oh, like they're happy with it. And then all of a sudden, I think Pellegrini, what was that, 2018? He spent 104 million, I think, net.
Yeah.
This season, he spent 150 million. But I think like he does it when...
Over Moyes' tenure, though, we consistently spent in Moyes' tenure, summer after summer.
Yeah,
I think it's how he spends. I think if the money's there, and it's not like he's pumping his own money in and stuff like that. It's the club's money.
But I think if he hadn't spent sort of a significant amount, because if you remember the sort of like the buzz around the transfer window, everyone in the Premier League was saying we'd won the transfer window. Be careful, West Ham, blah blah blah, this and blah 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 that. And at the same time, he's now taking away the concessions. If that and that hadn't happened, I think it would have been more of a highlight. So you're raising the money of our kids, but where's the fucking money going? So he spent that money. I would not be surprised.
We would have had to spend this season. It was a rebuild.
Unless we kept Moyes, we'd have had to. But
it was even with Moyes, because you look at the players that were aging out and we've had to replace.
Yeah.
It was massive. I think with Sullivan. I think he's an egomaniac. I think he spends out of ego. He wants plaudits. You look at him, he hates criticism. Whenever he gets criticism, he's straight on there to Jim White. He puts out his narrative. He throws people under the bus when the pressure's on them. And it's the same thing like with the European trophy. I'm sure he would have loved to get the plaudits and it's me and he gets talk sports saying, "Oh, West Ham fans should be grateful to Sullivan." I just think that's how he operates. I think at his stage, he's not trying to make.
Over the last 2 years as well, we have sold a player for £105 million. That does balance the books a lot.
Yeah. I mean, that probably has helped
us. Profit. We never paid anything for him, so
yeah, it is. Yeah, so I think that's probably helped our spending for sure, and that's why we're in such good FFP situation.
Yeah.
So Tim was another one chosen by Kretinsky, not Sullivan. And my take, I think he had every intention to self-sabotage this appointment right from the start to regain the reins, or not put him past him. I mean, that's believable. I just don't know with Sullivan. I think he's just like he wants to see the club succeed, because then he's the owner of the club. He gets the plaudits, but he's very cautious and careful, very risk averse.
Yeah.
Sullivan signed Gökhan Toure. I mean, we should do a show one day. We should go through all the players, like all these flops, and go for it. Tim O'Neill,
Put them together over the weekend. We'll do it Monday.
There you go. It is a massive list if we look at all these flops that he signed.
We'll do one of these tier list things. We'll do top signing.
Yeah, I've done a few tier lists in my time. I like a tier list. Tim here only because Kretinsky wanted it. Sullivan thinks he can bin Danny off and boot out Tim. He couldn't care less as long as we finish 17th or higher. Yeah, a lot of people, similar thing. Sullivan is the full guy in Tim Steidson. If Lopetegui project goes wrong, Sullivan wants a championship player as he knows the agent. Yeah, there you go, isn't it? He's got all the links with these agents rather than these foreign clubs. And don't surprise me. It's easy, whether it's a manager or a director of football, he has someone to blame. But never forget, he threw Sullivan under the bus. He's thrown Moyes under the bus before. He's thrown Pellegrini under the bus. He's so.
I think that's why he likes Moyes, because Moyes took a lot of the blame when he was here. He would never put it on the manager.
No, never. On the owner, yeah.
On the owner, sorry.
We missed out on 70-year-old Ranieri. I don't remember seeing that link. Not recently.
He went to Roma, didn't he?
Ranieri. Oh, jeez. I heard Ten Hag was going to Roma.
No, I think Ranieri's gone there. Right, I'm sure Ryan told me earlier.
Yeah, maybe Ranieri's he did. I know Ten Hag was linked. Gent Sullivan is not an ambitious chairman. He's a crook. He's only interested as long as we are a Premiership club and occasionally winning something. He gets a go. He's picking the team because it sounds like 3 or 4 different people buying players. Shouldn't it be the manager choosing the players he wants? This is the thing, Mark. He's not a manager. He's a head coach.
Head coach, yeah, and he's a goalkeeper.
Yeah.
I mean, coach.
Yeah. Is he actually? I know has been. Is he actually our goalkeeping coach?
No, I don't think he's our. No, I don't think he's our goalkeeping coach.
As well as the head coach.
I've heard he has been a goalkeeper coach, because I'm sure Nuno Santos was a goalkeeper as well, and they penned it as like the battle of the goalkeeping coaches when we played Forest.
It's the club's money that's being misspent because of incapable management with no plan. Take a look at Brighton are with the Caicedo money. Brighton are just a well-run club. They're a well-run club. Unbelievable. They have processes, systems in place, and they've just actually got rid of. I just read they've got rid of a lot of their recruitment team. To Tony Gomez, and they're refreshing it and revitalizing it. And like I said, it doesn't matter what manager. How can they just go from manager to manager to manager and not skip a beat? Because of,
you know what I think it is though, Dan, is they don't promise. They don't promise anything.
But it's not like they don't fluctuate though. It's not like they fall short, but they don't like. All right, we go from Potter to now De Zerbi. Oh shit! Now we're 14th in that, and now we go to this 33-year-old guy, and then we're going to dip, or then they don't fly, even though they don't really get consistent in Europe and all of that stuff. They're still, a much smaller club and a much smaller revenue, but they're consistent. They're always going to be challenging from them positions because they're a well-run club. They have a head coach in place like we do. They don't have managers. So the director of football and Tony Bloom, they all pick the players and they give it to the head coach. And because the head coach fits what they're trying to do, and it was similar to the last one, boom, they click. But we've always done stuff like we've jumped from a Big Sam to a Sullivan, Bilic, and then Moyes comes in. Now you've got a Pellegrini and then a Moyes, and now this Lopetegui. We need to have that system in place where it's like, right, we've got this profile of head coach. This guy, okay, he's not quite making it. Get him out. This guy comes in. All the players fit how he plays. He fits our philosophy. Bang. That's where we need to move to, you know.
Somebody just said, just cracked a Stella, now won't take a sip till Nicky cracks a smile.
Well, there you go.
There's a smile, mate. There's a smile.
It's sip time.
I'm going to be shooting in a minute. I'm going to leave you to answer some questions, Dan. But I do apologise for not doing a breakdown this week. I didn't watch the game because I went to a stag do. I went as Gold Dust. If anyone's not seen the pictures, mate, have we got any pictures here, Dan?
I haven't got it on my computer because obviously I'm on my computer and they're on my phone. But it did look good.
Yeah, look, it was a very good stag do. One of my best mates getting married. Had the weekend off, and I'm glad I did. But the breakdown will be back this week.
Of all the games to miss, that was a good
one I wanted to miss, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Let me see. There was that screenshot I put in the group chat earlier. Quickly wanted to get. Did you see it? Basically, it showed how open we are as a team. You know, and the fact that out of all the, let me see if I can get it. Out of all the teams, we basically give teams the most space in the league. So I'll quickly get your point.
I mean, it's I think you can see with your eyeballs that we don't press. You know, I don't need statistics to show you that we don't press. Where's West Ham?
We're it's in alphabetical order, yeah. So
more space. I mean, look at the difference between us and Tottenham, us and Chelsea, us and
yeah. So red is less space. So the closer to red, that's less space that we give the opposition team, and obviously closer to that navy is more space. And you can see at West Ham, there's a lot of blue, very little red, and no red, a little bit of orange. Not good.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Really. And look how much dark blue there is in our, near our goal.
Near our goal, yeah. I mean, it's all on our goal. He's pressing. You can see there, but he's trying to press higher, but it obviously don't fucking work.
Yeah, so the left side is our goal, and that's the direction that our opponents are attacking. And you just see, like, it's only Southampton, just looking at that we're very close to, but everyone else, we're one of the worst. I mean, Wolverhampton, they're not great, but again, they're in the bottom three. Look at Palace. Look at Palace's defensive half. Like, we are so open, and that's a massive worry, and it's how we're playing. But at the same time, it's not like we're let me remove this. It's not like we're like a Bielsa where we're like so open at the back, but we're just scoring and creating chances. We're not. We're struggling to score goals, and we're massively open at the back. That's a disaster. That's a recipe for relegation.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me just answer this question before I go, Dan. Sorry. Steve WHU Bell. Nicky, is the Patreon still going? And Matt Powell says the great question. It is still going. We are going to be moving over from Patreon to, we're going to be running them concurrently, but we're going to be moving over to members very soon. Everyone that's on Patreon will be automatically moved over to memberships, but we're concocting something together. But it is still going. We haven't done any podcasts for quite a long while now, but when it moves over to memberships, we are planning something big to launch it, and everyone that's already been a Patreon will automatically be moved over to memberships and given quite a long sort of free ride with that. So
if we can, we got to look into it and see if it's possible. If not, we'll try another way.
If it's not, we'll use the Patreon money to pay for their memberships. But it is still going. But I think the podcast is been very difficult to get together just because of situations. But everyone that's already a patron will be moved over to memberships automatically and given
membership on here. It's YouTube membership, Matt. And I mean, the beauty of it, the thing is, we're a YouTube chat. Our content is on YouTube, so it just makes sense to us to stay on YouTube. You're on YouTube. You don't have to go to a separate website because we found
we found it very disjointed.
Yeah, not many. We found like even though we had X amount of Patreons, like we was getting like 10% max of people that was on Patreon actually watching the content.
It wasn't even
because
that.
to get notification, you have to be in your emails. Your email tells you, oh, there's a new video up. So whereas on YouTube, people are here, you get your push notifications and all of that.
Yeah.
So yeah, like we want to make just a good offer, and then you get the badges a little next to your name, the emojis you can use, and all of that good stuff. So we're planning it.
Yeah.
There
we go.
So yeah. But yeah, no, back to the thing. Yeah, obviously, yeah, Nicky's got a point. Scott was on call, so it's
now I'm on call.
Now you're on call. Yeah, you got a party to go to.
While I'm look, Dan's going to be on his own. Ask him anything. Get him asking some questions. He's got about 15, 20 minutes, and then you can ask him whatever you like.
Yeah, we've got a couple more. This and another more subject. But yeah, feel free to any other questions that I haven't considered. We can get them in. When does it start? Don't know. Not soon, hopefully, Matt. Soon. We're working on it.
There we go. Right. Thank you very much, guys. Have a lovely night. Have a lovely weekend. And yeah, we'll see you next week. Maybe Monday for the tier list.
Yes. I am the tier list man. So we'll do it.
Thank you very much. Good night.
Good night.
Well, he won't let me leave the studio.
What's he doing? Oh, there we go. I was going to say, right. What an awkward end. Yeah, who's my barber? Listen, my barber is Mr. Skullshaver, mate. Mr. Skull. This is my barber. Yeah, does the job nicely. No charge. But yeah, like that. Like I said, it's a recipe for relegation to be that exposed. We play this high line. We don't really press with any intensity, and we're not really creating anything. And this is my point. The fact that Lopetegui sees this and doesn't change it consistently, this is why I have massive doubts on us, you know? So yeah, it's massively. What's up with everyone else? Full house soon for a PMP? Hopefully, mate. Like I said, Scott's on call with his job, Ryan's out, and Nicky's at a party. Jay should come on Friday night pie. And I forget him one time. I know he works. Graham's very busy. He hasn't got much time for YouTube these days, bless him. So yes. Do you know what I need to post? I'm going to post it on my channel, Lawless Live. You can subscribe to that. D, the Palace fan, for those who don't know, I had this bet with this Palace fan for last season that we would finish above them. He bet me that Palace would finish above us. And because he lost, he had to wear a West Ham shirt and eat a hot chili. He had to wear a West Ham shirt. So it was great to see. Maybe I'll post a picture. And Nicky's forfeit. So we've still got to arrange the forfeit. We've got to organise that for the last forfeit. Dom's good. I still see him at games. Dom's still at games. He can't do fan cams. I'm trying to keep up with everyone's job. Damo's good. There was a question. Eden Terzic. I think he done quite well with Dortmund. Some people are saying his football wasn't great. Could lead me to know, but I do want a younger manager. I don't know. Is there anything that the fans could do to make the changes needed to be a successful club? I honestly don't think so, really. I really don't think so. Dom can't do fan cams. It's his job. It's a tough thing, isn't it? You're going on ranting about football. Some companies, some places don't like that. Yeah, man. I don't know what fans can do. You know, people talk about protests. What we're protesting, Sullivan out. If he's not going to leave until he's ready to leave, all we can do really is get behind the team. Unless anyone else has got any suggestions. Why don't people want Mourinho? Because he seems to be on a decline. It seems to be on the decline. He's sort of the way he is with young players, youth. He's not really youth. Yeah, and the football, obviously, the brand of football. So I think those are some of the reasons. Nicky didn't show me the strips. So yeah, I want to. Marco Silva would be your number one replacement option to replace Lopetegui. I think Iraola would be up there for me from Bournemouth. I do like him. I think he's good, and he's got Bournemouth playing really well at the moment. Silva's a good choice. Yeah, but a lot of people say Thomas Frank. He's very highly rated, but I don't know. It doesn't excite me for some reason. There's De Zerbi, yeah, De Zerbi. There's options. That's what I mean. Like, that's why we shouldn't just go for the managers that are out of a job, man. I said this last. Why did I feel I was on the stream recently by myself when we was talking about this? I was on it. Yeah, it's mad. Quickly, who do I blame? Sullivan. It's Sullivan. It's definitely Sullivan, because he's the one who's basically had this policy of only getting freebies in and going for the cheap and easy options. So I think there's options out there. There are plenty of options for us to get. So like if we could get De Zerbi, then that's a great option. I don't think Ruud van Nistelrooy, that's another one. Yeah, like he's looking like he's going to Coventry, Van Nistelrooy. And yeah, I think that would be, it's a bit of a risk. There's a bit of a risk, but he's free, he's out of contract. And that last 4 games, what he had with Man United, done very well. Very, very well. So, yeah, I'd be open to Ruud van Nistelrooy for sure. I mean, let's get someone that's a young up-and-coming manager that can... Yeah, even Will Still, I said, that's a massive risk. Like, nowhere near my first choice, but I wouldn't be massively against it. But yeah, flipping Leon look like they're getting relegated, I just see. So, mad. Absolutely mad. Good old Ginger Carroll. Then David Sullivan may be getting ready to cash in the next few years. He's just shut down one of his private shops on Isle of Wight. It's crazy, man, because it feels like we've been hearing about this for so long. But yeah, if he's shutting, who knows? Like, how would the link between him shutting down his shops, because he's obviously cashing in on his private shop? Could he cash in on the club? Is he trying to get all of his cash and just leave his kids like a ton of money for them to build their own stuff? That's what he should do. Like, sell the club, sell all his stuff, kids. Go and make your own empire. There's your starting capital. Don't saddle them with club and, sex shops and all of this stuff. Yeah, unbelievable. It's quickly on Soufal. Came out and he'd done an interview on his relationship with Lopetegui. And he said, he told me he was extremely happy with me. He's convinced that I will get more minutes. I can't say a bad word. We don't know on the pitch, but there was another point where he said, if it should continue like this, not giving much game time, we have to sit down and see what to do next. I definitely don't want to sit on the bench. I still feel like I could play in the Premier League. So yeah, like he could be on his way out, Soufal. Him and like Wan-Bissaka are so different. They're such different options to have. I think if we would have had, not gone out so early in the Carabao, you probably would have saw a bit more Soufal. It's a weird situation, it's a weird situation with the right back. I think I like Wan-Bissaka, but I think Wan-Bissaka's being used incorrectly. When you're playing such a high line, people are expecting Wan-Bissaka to do all the defending and getting back on his own. He probably could have busted a gut for that Somerville tackle, but yeah, honestly, they reckon we're worth 800 million, even without the Olympic Stadium. We ain't cashing any time. So there's no way we're worth 800 mil. There's no way. It wasn't Everton, aren't they valued at like 500 mil, and they own their stadium. It's just, ridiculous they are, honestly. Absolutely ridiculous. Like, what's he cashing in for? Like I said, at this stage, and I hope he lives a very long life. But I'm just saying, at this stage, his money's for his kids. Let's be real. Like, that's anything he's building is for his kids. So, yeah. Van Nistelrooy. Yeah, I think, like I said, managers like this, he just seems to go for like these stale names all the time. I don't think Man City. I think they didn't they get it in the end. Didn't they get their stadium? It was rented, and then they got it in the end. I'm not 100% sure. Ward Prowse should have gone to a Champions League club. By what I'm hearing, he's not having a great time there. So maybe a Championship club. Although they will be a Championship club. Has West Ham Fan TV become a one-name show? Yeah, it's just one of them things, isn't it, mate? Life, it just gets in the way of things. Brendan Rodgers. Is it? Do you know what? He might be Salthouse, you know, as Matthew says, Salthouse managers. But yeah, like that's Brendan Rodgers. This is what I've said before about Brendan Rodgers. You get him for like 2 seasons, put him on a 2-year deal because he usually does really well, and then he just falls off. But we need to get someone and be clear about the next manager. This is going to be our style of play. This is going to be how we are. This is going to be our approach to football. Get someone in that matches that, and then that's it. Then that's our identity. So when the next manager comes in, boom, same. You know, it's it's one of them ones, I think, for the manager. Like, so whoever it is, just go with that in mind. So yeah, we can all talk about managers, but we have to bear in mind of they're a head coach, not a manager, really and truly. Like, they're not. There have to be someone that's, for me, been a head coach. I don't want to get someone that's like been a manager their whole career, and now we're getting them in to be a head coach, and they have to try and adapt to that. Like Lopetegui, I don't think Lopetegui was a head coach, and that's why Moyes wouldn't have worked out, because he's not a head coach. He likes control. You know, we go back to Wenger when they was trying to move to having a director of football. He didn't want a director of football because he's used to being where the manager runs the whole operation. So, would you do auditions for new members for Friday Night Pint? I find auditions so awkward, man. I remember we did auditions for our Thames Ironworks football team. And it's so awkward because which Ginger Carroll was a part of, and he did pass those auditions. But it's so awkward because you just feel bad, and you just want everyone to pass the audition. You just want to say yes to everyone. But yeah, it looks like what's this? I have to admit, going on Lopetegui's previous, that I'm surprised he hasn't walked. If things are that bad in the background, yeah, we should have treated him a bit worse, shouldn't we? Maybe that's what he's hoping that will happen. He's hoping Lopetegui will walk. That's probably we backed him, isn't it? It's because we backed him, and now like Wolves didn't back him, and here we are. You know, it's a tough one. I was, you know what? I did a live stream. I did this live stream on a Football Terrace, Straight Facts, every Friday in the afternoon, and they're talking about Kudus in January to Arsenal, and I'm like, there's no way we're selling Kudus in January to Arsenal, and just Kudus to Arsenal makes no sense because they need a left winger, and we've all seen what Kudus is like on the left wing this season. And they're going to pay 85 mil to stick him on the left wing. It's a joke. It's a joke because they've got, you know, Odegaard in the middle and Saka on the right. So, look, he could very well go. I hope he comes back and he plays well. Unbelievable. Like I said, it's just I really wanted us to just hit the ground running and it to work out. This is just bloody West Ham all over, isn't it? This is West Ham all over. But, you know, Onana, the one that got away. Yeah, listen, I would have taken Onana. Even from, like, we missed out on him the first time to Everton. How are we missing out on transfers to Everton at this stage? You know, it's Yeah, it's a tough one. Same with Duran, who still apparently is unhappy with his lack of game time. Duran, I think the ship sailed on us, but he will go somewhere else. I think he will leave Villa and go to the very top level. He'll go to the very top. I can't accept Kudus to Arsenal. We had so much crap with Arsenal. I don't want to ever do any dealings with them again. It's just so hard because release clause. That's the problem. They'll offer us £85 million and £1, wouldn't they? He's linked to it to us and Liverpool. Yeah, I'd much rather him go Liverpool. Are you getting annoyed with the Nations League? Oh yeah, I don't watch it. Can you believe how bad the Everton game was? I can't believe it. 0-0. I hate it. I really hated that game. It was just so boring. And they're like, oh, if it would have, and that's do you know what the thing is? Sullivan and that the reports was coming out, they thought we was unlucky. That's why they're not so worried. Oh, because we hit the post. So, or if we didn't hit the post and it went in, we would have won that game. What do they say? If mine had bollocks. And that's the problem. You know, and Pickford had a good game, but yeah, he's a goalkeeper. He did his job. The goalkeeper did his job. We didn't do enough to beat the goalkeeper. We didn't do enough to test the goalkeeper. So that's the problem. But this is it. Like, they'll always find ways. Sullivan will find excuses not to make a change because he doesn't want to do it. So whatever little thing he can hold on to. So with the Newcastle game, we get back against Newcastle. Oh, it's Newcastle. You know, even though they've not been great this season, we get battered to Arsenal. I remember it's Arsenal. And then we go to Leicester. Oh, Leicester away, though. It's an away game. We can't be expected. Like, it's probably going to take losing to Wolves at home. But yeah, this is a good question from E20 Zone. Shout out, mate. What are your minimal expectations for the next 3 fixtures? So that is Newcastle away, Arsenal at home, Leicester away. The expectations I want, it's got to be the very minimum 3 points. 3, like nothing less. But I'm looking at 4 points because those are tough fixtures, especially Newcastle and Arsenal. But we didn't do enough in the fixtures that we should have got the points for. So we have to go and get points from these fixtures now. We can't just say, oh, it's Newcastle. Oh, it's Arsenal. You know, you didn't do enough against Everton. You know, you look at the results. We should have beat Everton. We didn't. And so now we've got to beat or draw against an Arsenal or a Newcastle. It's not acceptable. Like, we didn't beat Brentford. We didn't beat Fulham. So just because of we did beat Bournemouth in the League Cup. That's the League Cup. But yeah, just because they're Arsenal and Newcastle, we've got to get the points. 4 points, as Gemma says. That's what we need to be looking at. So, like I said, Newcastle, they're starting to pick up a bit of form now, but they're still not great. Arsenal have had the trouble with scoring goals to an extent. They've not been as dynamic, and we're still going to be favourites going into this game, but we could potentially get a draw if we approach the game right. Not the way we've been playing it. We can't get a draw. Like, if we play how we've been playing, so open, then we'll give them all the joy in the world. But if we come out of those 3 fixtures without a win, I don't see how you can justify it. I don't see how you can justify that, really and truly. And then after that, you got Wolves at home. Wolves at home. If we was to not get a result, and say a win, convincing win. This is what I said against Everton, by the way. If we was not getting convincing win against Wolves, he should even still be here by Wolves, by the way, if we're not picking up wins. But there's no way you can justify it. the games are going to come thick and fast because after Leicester, we got Wolves at home, we got Bournemouth away, tough game. Brighton at home. Southampton should be standard, like 3 points. Southampton, easy. And then, Liverpool at home, that's going to be tough. That's going to be really tough, Liverpool. But if things don't pick up, he shouldn't be there by then. They initially said earlier on they're going to give him till Christmas. So till Christmas, the last game before Christmas is Brighton at home. Sacking the man at Christmas, at least give him a bit of notice. So, we've really put ourselves in a poor situation. But this is the thing. I would take all. We got Man City straight after Liverpool. Wow, Man City away. Joy. Oh my gosh. Yeah, this is what I'm saying. Like, if the results, if we say the results was exactly the same, but the football was good, I could take it. If I saw progress and we weren't getting battered and we was just, you know what I mean? Like something was improving, but the results were exactly the same, I would be like, okay, we got to wait for things to get better. We got to give it time. The football's crap. Nothing's changed. No progress. I can't sit here and be like, oh, things will get better because I'm basing it just off of hopes and dreams. Oh, yeah, we'll improve. It'll click. Don't worry. I need to see something. I'm not seeing anything. And that's my problem with it. If we was playing really good football, attacking teams, maybe we was a bit unlucky in games, then that would be one thing entirely. Honestly. Yeah, do you know what? I haven't watched any of these press conferences. I think that's the thing as well. He hasn't got the personality. And I know, like, personality shouldn't matter, but it does play a part, in endearing you to managers. Like, my gosh. If we get to Box down on 20 points, I'll be majorly concerned. What are we on? Let's have a look. West Ham, we're on 12 points. Yeah, so we get to Boxing Day. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's 21 points. So if we get 8 points out of 21, it's not great. Anyone watching the boxing tonight or the Mike Tyson thing? It's probably up late. I might just watch it tomorrow. The thing is, with these boxings, these YouTube boxings, talking about the Mike Tyson, Jake Paul thing, it's a spectacle. I think it's all fake. I think all these YouTube, they're like semi-fake. I don't think the results are fake, but I think it's fake in terms of they're not going all out. Like, how's Floyd Mayweather going to have a draw with Logan Paul, right? And like, he wasn't trying to take his head off, and I don't buy it. Like, how has there never been a knockout? Correct me if I'm wrong, but there's never. Yes, 3 a.m. Yeah, I ain't staying up for that. How has there never been a knockout in one of these YouTuber fights? How? I know they've probably not got the punching power, you could say, but then, they're not good defensively. So all these fights seem to go the distance. I don't think there's even been a technical knockout. They all go full rounds. It's crap, like, and it's boring. That's what I'm saying. People just do it for the spectacle. There's no enjoyment. I want to see YouTuber MMA. Why won't we see that? Because it's harder to fake MMA in a lot of ways, the way you can with boxing, and it's much more. It can be much more brutal at times. So, yeah. Who is worse, Soler or Rodriguez? It's so hard, man, because they've not been great, but I just don't want to judge it. I haven't seen enough from Soler. I haven't seen enough from Soler, to be honest, to say Soler. Like, Rodriguez, I've seen some good stuff from him. I thought the first half of that Spurs game, he was very good, very good. But over the course of the season, they've not been great, to be honest with you. And the Soler, I think his thing, if we wanted to sign him, it's like 25 mil. for now. See, can never forgive Moyes for letting 4 hours go. He's mate. I see like some West Ham fans went to watch him and he had the West Ham flag and he loves us. He absolutely loves us. Neither have pace. This is our big problem. We have such a lack of pace in this side. It's and I've been saying this for years. We need more pace. We need more pace. Need more pace. Yeah, it's tough. We have to. I saw this question on Talksport. Is your Mount Rushmore a West Ham players, managers, owners? I don't pick 4. I don't think anyone's putting a West Ham owner on their Mount Rushmore. West Ham Mount Rushmore. Can anyone mention a single owner? Sid King. Yeah, but yeah, I guess maybe Mount Rushmore. That's so hard because some of the greats we've had, but you've got to have, obviously, Bobby Moore has to be on there, doesn't it? Bobby Moore would have to be on a Mount Rushmore. And then John Lyle or Ron Greenwood. I mean, maybe lean towards John Lyle. Just what a guy. And then who else would you stick on there? So hard. So you got Bobby Moore, John Lyle. In my lifetime, okay. John Lyle was technically in my lifetime, even though I weren't older, so I would put John Lyle. Billy Bonds, technically, when did he retire, Billy Bonds? When was his last? Well, not retire. Yeah, when was his last game for West Ham? I would like to see that. I could get him, and he was a manager. I'll get him on a technicality at 1988. So I could. I was born after the season ended, after his last season, technically. Bonds was manager. Yeah, I'll get him in on the technicality. So, yeah, Lyle, Bonds. Oh, mate, who else would you put on there? So tight. Like, I'm reading through all the names. You go, well, if I put him on, what about him? Like, maybe a Di Canio. And yeah, it is a tough one. Like, if it's just who I love, I would love to put Noble on there. If I was being objective, Moyes did win a trophy in my lifetime. You know, it's weird putting him next to Lala, such a lovable guy, but Moyes, yeah. If I do it lifetime, it makes it harder because most of my lifetime we've been shit, haven't we? Like, you know, so it is a tough one. Devonshire, Hurst, Rushmore. So Di Canio, Moore, Noble, and Cotty. So that's just all time, not in your lifetime. That is. We've got Moore, Cotty, Di Canio, Bowen. Yeah, the Cotty. That's a good one. Oh, yeah. So what's C20s? Dix, Noble, Di Canio, Bowen. Yeah, Bowen's because obviously Bowen scored the winner in that final. So, yeah, Dix was one I did think about. Julian Dix. What a guy. But, yeah, I think I'd have to go Lyle, Bonds. And yeah, Lyle, Bonds. I'm gonna put Nobes on there for me because he's Mr. West Ham, and then maybe Bowen for the goal. Yeah, Lyle got to stuff us in the cup, and he just seemed like I said, I was, only a baby in these later years, but everything I've seen from him, he just seemed like an absolute class act. Like all the interviews I've heard about him just seemed like he epitomised West Ham. He epitomised just that, everything we love about West Ham, just that class East End attitude, of being like what the people of East London were like, just do anything for you. Like, that's what I love about the Lalies. He epitomised West Ham. So, yeah, no, good question, mate. That was a good question. And a tough one because you pick 4 of just managers or players or whatever owners. Like I said, there is no shut up. Wait, I thought you was picking. I thought Colin said I'll have Chairman Brown on the Mount Rushmore, and Bonds was manager when Redknapp stabbed him in the back. Went to Chairman Brown. this is what I'm saying. Like, Colin, no one would have any owner of West Ham, like, especially in the last 60 years. Some of the owners we've had, the Kearns, the Browns, Edgar Madsen. I think his heart was in the right place, Edgar Madsen. I really think his heart was in the right place. But yeah, then you got Sullivan and Gold. Yeah, look, some great names. We'd have to have a bigger Mount Rushmore. We'd have to extend it. See, I don't do players on the back of my shirts, but which former or current player would you have on the back of your shirt? Yeah, for like current ones, it's a bit easier because you've got less options. So if I was the sort of person to have, I'm not that I'm against it. Like, if you want a player on the back of the shirt, get it, but it's just not for me. Kudus, maybe as a current player, I might have on the back of my shirt. That would be one of, what's the point? If I feel like he's got a release clause, actually, I wouldn't get him on the back of my shirt. Maybe Bowen, because he's the captain. I feel like he's going to be here a while. Do you know what I mean? And he's one of our better players. He's not playing great now. Probably Bowen, if I was to have someone now. Brown left the year I was born. What a year that was, Josiah. I hated that man so much. Like, you don't understand how happy I was when the Browns sold up. I despised him. And when I found out that Gold and Sullivan gave him or I can't remember if it was Edgar Madsen, or later on Gold and Sullivan gave him like an honorary directorship, I was so angry. I absolutely despised him. Awful, awful, awful owner. Really just, and you remember what I said about John Lyle? Man of class, man of dignity, integrity, all of that. Brown, opposite, absolute opposite. Do you know what? Another thing, actually, people talk about Alvarez, and Alvarez not been great. See him at Real Madrid. What's his name? Aguerd. He's doing really well at Sociedad. He's part of a defense that has conceded the second least amount of goals in the league. So he's doing really well. I think Kura is doing really well as well. So Kura and Aguerd, and two players that just, like, towards the end of their time at West Ham weren't great. Kura never really got to shine. They're playing great away from West Ham. So it just shows, it just wasn't great last year. Wasn't great at all. So yeah, look, I'm happy for them, but it's what could have been, and that's why I feel like Moyes overall had done a good job. But it was the right time to change because our defensive record, and I just feel like Aguerd didn't suit Moyes anyway. He didn't suit his style of play, and Kera just didn't seem to fit. They just wrong fits. So yeah, we got 80 likes. If we get to 100 before I leave, before I get out of here, yeah, like gave us Rio, gave us TT Kamara. There's so many examples you can talk about. Just an absolute clown Brown. Honestly, absolutely hated him. Every player looks better when they're not in the most competitive league in the world. I think that's fair, Mark. I think that is fair. But I think there's more to it than that. Because Aguerd, I think, looked when you think that first season when he first came, he looked really good. Looked a really good player. Then second season, towards the end of the season, second season he was error prone. He was making so many mistakes that we didn't see before from him. Like, we was looking at him like, oh my god, he's going to be the next, top defender for us. And that's why we need to get a competent manager, because I don't want to see Todibo ruined. Because I look at him, I really do see quality in Todibo. But a lot of people are sort of writing him off and dismissing him because of how much we're leaking goals. And people are just putting it down to players. Players always have to take... Sociedad are 10th, but it doesn't take away from the fact that defensive record is good. Obviously, that tells you that they're not scoring enough goals. That's not down to Aguerd. Everyone, you've just missed Nikki. He's gone to a party. Scott's on call. Ryan's out. So yes, I've been left all by myself. But yeah, so another big issue. Like, that's the thing, when you don't score goals, like our set pieces have fell off a cliff. We scored one. Like, can anyone remember? Because I don't think we've scored a single set piece all season. And like I said, Graham, he's not really YouTube. He's not really on the old YouTube. He ain't got time for the YouTubes these days. It's very. We'll get some sparse cameos from Graham, but he hasn't got time for the old YouTubes. But yeah, it took a step back. That's right, Miss Amrat. But yeah, so can anyone remember a set piece we've scored this season? Because I don't. And that's the problem. Our goals, we're leaking goals. We're not scoring goals. And we can't score set pieces. And we play crap football. That's what I'm saying. At least, like, not last season. Like, last season, our set pieces, it does feel like there's a little bit of a hangover. I'm not blaming Moyes at all when I say this. It sounds like I am. But it just seems like there's a little bit of a hangover from last season. Do you know what I mean? Because we did leak a lot of goals last season. We wasn't scoring as many. Like, we weren't scoring as many set pieces. So, I just don't... Yeah, but... we brought Lopetegui in to fix all of that. I don't know. What's happening, Dan? The channel seems to be getting less and less content, and all others being on. Yeah, I mean, we've we met up the other day, like, just, had our monthly meeting and all of that. So we got some stuff planned. It's a tough one. Like I said, people forget, like, it's, not our jobs. So we do have to juggle life and balance it, whilst doing this channel, and some people know that. We started a Patreon just because, we had t-shirts. We thought, okay, we can offer this, we can offer that, but we haven't really pushed it because we're a YouTube channel. Patreon, it's connecting to it. Do you know what I mean? And it is hard because you post on Patreon and hardly anyone's watching it. And when you make something, you want people to watch it. And you get like 7 people watching something, even though there's over 100 people on there. That's not to blame them. It's I don't like Patreon as a platform. So, yeah, some people, make a living off that and do their YouTube channels. But for us, we've got some plans for content and just how to make sure we've got some more bits and pieces coming out. That's for sure. What we wanted to do coming into this season was be consistent with a core amount of shows. So make sure we've got a post-match pint for the most part, which we didn't do a post-match pint for Everton. Nicky weren't at the game. He was at a stag do. But yeah, we've got post-match pint. We've got the preview. We've got the Friday night pint. We've got the fan cams. And then now Nicky's just added his breakdown into it that I might do if Nicky's not around. I'll be helping him with the editing and stuff like that, and just looking at some other bits and pieces. So yeah, you'll see a bit more from us. But it's a tough one, especially when there's a group of people. That's for sure. But yeah, YouTube membership. I've been banging on the door for this to the lads for ages because I'm like, everyone's already on YouTube. Like, to watch our stuff on Patreon, you got to go to another platform, which the way it's laid out, I'm not crazy about it. You got to know that we've posted something. You got to check your email. I don't know how active everyone is in their emails, but I ain't like new video. So we're like on YouTube, do it, and then we can have other benefits like little badges and emojis and all sorts of stuff. Anyway, make it more interactive. Favorite 3-course meal: lunch, breakfast, lunch, dinner, desserts. That's a tough. 3-course meal, not like 3-course meal, like starter, main, dessert, like breakfast, lunch, dinner, desserts. Breakfast, it sounds like I'm being super less pissing about with YT memberships. I thought you said there is less pissing about with YouTube memberships. What he was telling us, not to piss about with it. Will podcasts continue in the membership? Well, there will be, whether it's the podcast is in that form, we will revitalize everything and just make sure if we do this is the thing what I'm making sure, If we do a membership, we say, okay, you sign up, you get X, Y, and Z. X, Y, and Z's going to be there. It's not like, oh, there's a podcast this week, there's not one next week. Like, that's what I want to make sure. Like, we launch something, boom, consistent. But yeah, I like a smoothie bowl. It sounds like I'm being super healthy, but I love it. Like, you make a smoothie and then you put fruit and granola on top, and yeah, I like that. Lunch. I guess. What is a lunch? What lunch? What? Yeah, like what separates lunch and dinner? Like, they're similar types of meals, isn't it? Lunch, like a baguette or something, I guess. A baguette or something. I like a nice crusty baguette. Dinner, maybe pie mash or a Chinese. Maybe pie mash for lunch, Chinese for dinner, and a Viennetta for dessert. There you go. There you go. Fry up kebab and another kebab. That's asking for you asking for a heart attack there. Clogged up arteries. Yeah, so but yeah, we can do private cons. But it'd be good, yeah, once we can do that up, because it's good then, because like I said, like we can focus more time on the channel, less time trying to balance our jobs and so like, we've been doing this for nearly like 10 years, like coming up 10 years, mate. And to do that, and it shows obviously, you know, we're still doing our job. So yeah, there's a lot of room for improvement, right? We're still balancing jobs and this. So this is the season where we need to try and fix that. McPlan. So yeah, like honestly, it's a tough old game. It really is a tough old game, the whole YouTube stuff. But yeah, we want to easy Japan, Tokyo, mate. Oh my god! If it weren't so, it's dearer to go than some places. But yeah, man, I'd love to go back there. Absolute dream come true that was to go there. And I only went there for 7 days, and it's not enough, man. And for my 30th, and my god, do I want to go back there? Unbelievable. I want to go. I'd love to go to all over Japan. A lot of people love Mexico. No interest in Mexico. And that's not taking me from Steve. Like, if you love it, great. But for some me, I don't know. It just don't appeal to me. Jace was supposed to go Mexico, but his holiday's gone. It's gone a bit sideways. So, Jaywick, listen. Don't read that comment and go, "Oh, Jaywick." Like, that's a Rich exclusive. Only Rich can enjoy Jaywick. It's not for anyone else. Don't go to Jaywick. No idea about that, mate. Yeah, I think that was Ryan that was talking to Nick about that, dealing with that. So not too sure, mate. Not too sure. Did you ever pick up learning different languages? Yeah, so honestly, I've been like on and off learning Japanese, and don't ask me to reel off a fucking sentence because I'm on the spot. But I do. I can understand it more than I can speak it when I watch stuff. But yeah, I like it. But no one knock a Butlins. You can't beat a Butlins. Can't beat a good Butlins, can you? Or Pontins. No, Pontins is not great. It's not great. I spent a lot of time in Pontins. It's not great. Yeah, Canyon Tan. Kick it out, bloody Canyon. The worst thing is, I like Canyon Town. I just don't like how everyone says they're from Canyon Town. That's a West Ham fan. It's only West Ham fans. I'm from Canyon Town. I'm from Canyon Town. Oh, Canyon Town. Yeah, you know, in Canyon Town. Remember when that time we went Canyon Town? We was in Canyon Town, and it's just Canyon Town this, Canyon Town that. Like, Jesus. It's like, it's not even that big a place. Canyon Town. Everyone's from there somehow. Oh, jeez. Honestly, mine. Yeah, no, that's it. Yeah, just don't go. You're better off there than Jaywick. Custom House. Yeah, my nan lived in Custom House, so I spent a good time in Custom House. It's all about Custom House, not Canyon Town. Custom House. That's for sure. The 80s night. Yeah, that 80s night, that wasn't Butlins, Ted. That was John Fowler. That was John Fowler holidays in Cornwall. John Fowler Holidays. Listen, I hope they can't sue me, but this place was just one built like a stately home turned into something, and then you got your little chalets. Like, it's not like there was all these things to do. It wasn't great. If I had one wish, shout out Ray J. One wish. What would you wish for? More wishes, isn't it? Hey, have you been to my club, Cardiff? Oh my God, Cardiff to watch the Hammers. Don't get me started on Cardiff away. Last time Cardiff were in the Premier League, awful away. That was a terrible, not an awful away. The game was terrible. I can't remember what the score was, but we lost. We lost. We absolutely lost. Did I drink a cup? Do you know what, Miss Samra? I don't even remember doing that forfeit of drinking a cup of tea. Did I drink it? Maybe I did. I can't remember. That sounds familiar. I remember putting something on, but I don't know what video I did that. Yeah, Cardiff. I can't remember the game. It was last time we played Cardiff away, and we was right next to the Cardiff fans. Yeah, and these little shits were just giving it. They were giving it 2-0 to thanks, Josiah. Me and Damo got the train up there. Yeah, had a few beers before. We had the worst Nando's we've ever had in our lives before the game. Yeah, some good beers. I think it was with Gio from Amos Chat. And yeah, after we watched the game, awful. And then, yeah, good old Mike. I remember he did the fan cam. It's all lies, Mike. He drops us back to the station. But, I mean, good day out, but yeah, awful game, that one. Yeah, I didn't want to watch along. I hate tea. I absolutely hate tea. Under Pellegrini, yeah. I can't remember if that was Pellegrini's first season, was it? Was his first season or his second season? Roberto. We were just talking about, me and Nikki was actually, when we was on the phone, we just ended up talking about West Ham, and we was talking about Pellegrini, and that's what I was saying, like, Pellegrini would have been all right, like, if it wasn't for Fabianski getting injured and having to play Roberto, because we was doing quite well. We started the season all right, but then he got injured. We had to play Roberto. Like, our backup goalkeepers were Roberto and David Martin. Recipe for disaster. Why do I hate tea? I just don't get it. I don't. What does tea taste like? Like, what is the taste of a tea? Like, what's the? You know, when I drink a drink, and I drink like an apple tango, it's like, oh, that's apple flavor. Oh, nice apple, fruity. Do you know what I mean? Or I like water, and water don't really taste much, but it's refreshing. Like, you know, you have that water taste. But tea, people are just drinking milk, hot milk, and like tea leaves, tea. I think British people they don't really like it. They're just sort of mentally conditioned to like it. Like how it's just this thing. People have sort of programmed to like tea. And no, if people really think about it, sometimes I get annoyed at people when it's like the summer and they're drinking tea. It's the summer. And you just, oh, it cools me down. Like, shut up. About it cools you down. Yeah, I don't know why. It really annoys me. I've seen my grandparents just drinking tea all the time, like 20 cups of tea, and like I literally, I'm probably revealing something about myself there. I get angry. Yeah, I just don't get it. I just don't get, like, surely there's nicer things to drink than tea. Surely it can't be. Does anyone really look? People agree. I can't believe people agree. Like, I was usually on my own. I don't drink coffee. I don't drink hot drinks. If the drink is hot, it's got to be cold. I don't care if it's fucking freezing. Yeah. No hot chocolate. I don't have soft chocolate. Yeah. So if chocolate, it has to be in the fridge. It has to be. I don't have chocolate ice cream. I'm very particular on these things. Yeah. So, do I watch wrestling weekly? Do you know what? I grew up on wrestling, and I used to watch it like religiously. like religiously, like really got into the habit, and it started getting bad. And then so I watched like the YouTube clips. I just keep up with it, and I watch the YouTube clips. And if something big's happening, I'll sit down and watch it properly. Me and Jace, we used to sit on the phone, yeah, like on the house phone, and we used to watch the pay-per-views together. And we used to be like just talk about the matches while we're watching it, and being like, "Oh, look, did you see that? Did you see that?" And then like eventually I fall asleep on the phone. And Jace will be like, "Hello," and then I wake up like, where he's hung up. Those were the days. Those were the days. Tea and biscuit. People, tea is trash. Yeah. So I didn't think. Yeah, I didn't think that there'd be so many tea like people on my side with the tea thing. Yeah, people, but I just tea people. What does tea like? How describe the taste of tea? Describe it to me. Like what is nice about it? Like people can't tell. They just love tea because they're British and they're supposed to love tea. And the rest of us, we're freed from the matrix, as they say. As you say, the matrix. We're in the tea matrix. Tea tastes like tea. That's fair enough, isn't it? It tastes but do you know what I mean? It's not fruity. It's just it's just leaves and milk. That's what it is, isn't it? So yeah, honestly. But it'd be good. I did meet up with Damo and Jace the other day. We was in the bingo for this Dagenham bingo for DJ Luck MC Neat night. They was in this bingo, the Mecca bingo in Dagenham, the other Saturday. So you go in, you play bingo, and then DJ Luck and MC Neat come out and start like singing mostly other people's songs because I think they had like one hit, and then walking around the bingo and everyone's following them around the bingo like, oh my God, look, we're with them. And we have a drink and then you play more bingo, which is weird. Like after that, like everyone's all hype, music, we was dancing. Then they piss off after an hour, and then people go back to playing bingo, and people are like, "Oh, like, I don't know if Jay set him at plan. I'll have to ask him." It's difficult to describe taste wise. It really is. It really is. But yeah, so that was. Bingo and DJ like MC days. It was insane. They was already there and they snuck me in. And you're just there like bingo and then music and then back to people that dance on the bingo tables and then back to bingo. And you live around the corner from there. The Mecca Bingo Dagenham. Local, yeah. Yeah, I ended up walking down from Bigotry Station. It's just a random thing. I was like, what is that? It was in bingo. I didn't get it. But yeah, no, it was good. It was good music from back in the day. So it was a laugh, but bingo, yeah. I don't remember Nicky saying bingo wings. I do remember it being a thing that he said on Friday Night Pint. I don't remember the context. It's going to be a Chinese, Randy. It's a favorite takeaway. Chinese. I like Chinese. It's got to be a Chinese. Between there and Bigotry Station, yeah. Not too far from me. So it is one of them. Yeah, one of them things. There's random things that happen in Dagenham. It is a random place. So potentially, if we do our next live event, it could be in Dagenham. It could be in Narm. If you've never been here. So look out for that. And it's easy transport links. Last time we done our event in Thurrock or wherever that is, like Stamford Lee Hope way. But Dagenham. Yeah, probably could be our next event. Maybe in Rayleigh. That's near. Is it Pitsea? Is it Pitsea Rayleigh? That's on the C2C, isn't it? Do I remember Nicky's Poland story? I will never forget that. Nicky does not know the meaning of long story short. He was telling this story about the Pope coming to Poland while he was in Poland. I'll never forget that. Sitting there like stories going on and on and on. And like something happened with my internet went and I had to ages sorting it out, sort my internet. Okay, fucking needs to give me a break from listening to that story, turning my computer on and off, doing all of this, take me ages, come back on. And then Right, we was in this bar in Poland, and then he says it, and I'm like, I remember I was like shocked. My eyes were like, he's still fucking going on. Really near Southend, fair enough. No one misses Nicky's story. Don't say I don't want story time with Nicky to come back because it takes forever. And he goes on tangents, like all these tangents. It's not like boom, we're here. Just tangents that have nothing to do with the plot. Little side filler arcs. Yeah, honestly. It is one of the best ones was when you guys were under the tarpaulin in the garden. Pizza delivery turned up. Yeah, we did a watch along in Scott's garden under the and it was windy as anything. Hi Kassam, how you going? Yeah, we're just doing a random like hangout. We ain't done this in ages on it. Yeah, we ain't done one of these in absolute ages where we just answer questions. That's what I was looking to do, maybe with the membership, is do like a monthly one where people can ask questions and hang out type of thing, with all get the lads on, and try and get everyone together and all of that stuff. Yeah, but it's been tough. We've had Brian. Brian's obviously new father, so he's a busy man. But yeah, no. Yeah, it was that we with this we was trying to do a watch along. I can't remember what the game was around Scott's house, and we're trying to get it. We've got the laptop outside. We're all there and get pizza delivery, and then the wind is doing everything to try and blow this bloody what do they call them? Not a it's but it's a gazebo. Gazebo. That's what it was. Is everyone? Yeah, I should just. We've got 4 likes till we reach 100. I'm not going to bed until this gets 100 likes. Please. Oh my god. Is Terzic coming? I don't buy that. People are saying, "Oh, Terzic's in London." Like, why would we be meeting him in London if we're not sure if we're sacking flipping Lopetegui yet? We're just meeting up with him. Jesus, Josiah, like, at least off the top of my head, are you just really great at Googling things? Like, how the hell do you know all of this? Don't go to bed, DL. Don't go to bed, DL. So, yeah, it's been one of them days. I was just editing a video for my dad's. My dad's got a YouTube channel. So I literally just edited this video, done the thumbnail for him, and posted that. So that's the thing. Yeah, I was going to do a video like this week actually on the channel, but me and my dad have been working on this video, this sort of documentary for his channel for ages on Cyprus Adventures, it's called, and we finally got to publish it. So hopefully people, hopefully that picks up some traction. But yeah, that's why I was working on that, and happy with how it come out. Like, so, but that's it. I did want to do a video on some of this subject. So my dad is he's a builder by trade. He's a builder, but he's just recently moved to, like last year, he's moved to Cyprus. He lives at Cyprus, and yeah, I think he does a bit of building work out there. He does quite a bit. He writes books, and he's doing these videos in Cyprus, just exploring Cyprus. He loves it. It's Cyprus. He's got a Facebook page called Cyprus Adventures. And this is the video that I'll post the video. This is the video that I edited for him. I opened with his YouTube channel. He's just started it, but his Facebook page is doing, it's got like 7,000 followers, viewer, members, or whatever on his Cyprus Adventures Facebook page. So yeah, he's got that. Actually, I need to put the link to his Facebook page in his description. So yeah, I open that with that. I'm probably going to go back down there soon. So yeah, like I said, I've been sort of juggling that, really doing. Cyprus Adventures. Subscribe. Cheers, Matt. So yeah, like he does some good stuff. Is he a West Ham fan? Yep, he's a West Ham fan. My uncle, his brother, who I go with, he's West Ham mad. He's got a West Ham pub in like Shenfield. He's all tattooed up and all of that stuff. He's got away season ticket. So my dad, yeah, he's West Ham. He watches West Ham. He's not as West Ham. Cyprus, not a cheap place. It can be. I mean, he lives He lives in the proper Cypriot village, like with all the locals. Cheers, Matt. Cheers, mate. I appreciate it. Yeah, Cyprus Adventures. Yeah, honestly. My daughter got married in Cyprus. It was beautiful. Yes, it was. It is a beautiful place. Yeah, so he lives in the Greek side. Cheers, Steve. He lives at the Greek side of Cyprus, so that side. So it's nice, like near Paphos. Yeah, I recommend it, and it can be Coral Bay. Yeah, I've done some holidays in Coral Bay, like Cleo's bar. Yeah, that's what my dad like. He'd been going for years, so we used to go there. You don't live too far from Coral Bay. They're redoing it. He should have just reached 50 subs. Yeah, no, that's amazing. Yeah, like I said, I was going to share it on my Twitter tomorrow. I've got to post it. And yeah, this video, like, he's really been goes around to all these different reservoirs, like explores it. He's got his drone, and yeah, he's in his Attenborough mode. He grew up in like East Ham. He's like East Ham boy, but yeah, in this he's like proper official. Does his presenting. I've taught him a lot. I've sit there on the phone to me, just do this, do that, do this, do that. But I've enjoyed editing it. I've enjoyed editing his videos. So yeah, so it's Facebook Cyprus Adventures, YouTube Cyprus Adventures. If you're into that, there'll be some more stuff, and I'll do a collab with him one time. Noble turned up at her hotel the day after you left. Noble happened to be in Cyprus. Bloody hell. Bloody hell. Danny, you watching I'm a Celeb this year? I haven't watched I'm a Celebrity Get Me Out of Here since like the second or third season. So, but I'm going to put Nikki's Bush Tucker trial up. Cleo's is goated. You leave black out there after, yeah, mate, like the bartenders in there, unbelievable. Great guys. They got the pole there, and you end up dancing on the pole, and yeah, Cleo's is great. Yeah, East Ham. Yeah, see, I lived in East Ham. I'm Manor Park boy. But as a baby, I did live with back when she lived with my dad. When my dad lived with us, we lived for a few years in East Ham. But yeah, he's proper Beckton. I think he originally lived in Beckton. Then, yeah, East Ham. So, Paphos 9th in the Conference League. Yeah, nice. Good on Paphos, man. Hopefully they do well. I can't remember they've got to be in the top 8 though, haven't they? They've got to be in the top 8. Ben John, a lot of people like Paphos. I was born in Plastomer. I was born there, obviously. You're near the fire station. Still, yeah. Hopefully, you've been all right, Matt. It's been a while since I see you. But yeah, East Ham. That's what I'm saying. Place like East Ham, Plaistow, not Canning Town. I miss RX Hackney. He's actually. Do you know what? I thought you always lived in. Where was you living before? Didn't you move to Cornwall? You was living in like Devon, or you was living like well out of line. I didn't know you was actually originally from Hackney. Forest Gate. Oh man's Forest Gate. Yeah. See, look, these places in Newham. Like Newham's bigger than Canning Town. That's what I like to see. Lancashire. That was it. Lancashire. Yeah, Danny Dyer's having a bit of resurgence in his film career. It really is. But are you, Steve? You live in Burnley, but you ain't got a Burnley. You ain't originally from Burnley, are you? You didn't sound when I met you last. You didn't sound like you was from Burnley. That's where old Nick Tucker. I don't know if he knows Nick Tucker. Do you know him? He's in Burnley. But yeah, he lived in Burnley for years. Now he's moved back down south. But yeah, he's got a bit of the accent. Josiah's East Ham boy. Nice. Custom House. Yeah, Custom House is almost like mini Canning Town. It's so like it's so small. It's almost not considered its own place. So it's sort of like tacked onto Canning Town. But I like Custom House. I said my nan lived there. Born in Islington. Is that yeah, Islington. I don't know if the University College Hospital has been there. Like would have been there then, but lived in Dagenham since it was 10 months. Oh, 10 months, yeah. Proper Dagenham born and bred, Rich. And you've probably seen it change, yeah. Like I said, I've just lived in Dagenham. I didn't grow up in Dagenham. So chat lives in Staffordshire. Yeah, I how much. Yeah, Hornchurch. I used to work at JJ Moon's in Hornchurch, the Weatherspoons pub. I was working Weatherspoons in Hornchurch. Yeah, was not a fan of that job. Ilford. Yeah, see, Ilford is like, you know, if you're in Manor Park, you either, and you want to go get your shopping, you either go East Ham or you go Ilford. Ilford was like a bit nicer, but you know, depending on what you need, where you want to go, you just, I want to go to the Exchange. I used to love the Exchange as a kid. Barking's kind of where I live in I'm basically like 50-50 Barking Dagenham. So like I'm not Dagenham. I'm kind of Barking. So, you know, you walk 10 paces one step, you're in Barking, 10 paces the other step, you're in Dagenham. It's one of them ones literally on the border of there. Leighton. Yeah, Leighton. I like Leighton. I like Leytonstone. I spent a lot of time in Leytonstone. Yeah, Ilford's pretty dead now. It's pretty dead. It used to be lively, like the Exchange. Like I said, I've seen it in there. It looks like a ghost town in there. Harold Road off Lodge Avenue. Oh, bloody hell. Yeah, Old Lodge, yeah. Upney, yeah, pretty much Upney. Yeah, Upney's my station. Like, so if I get a train, it's Upney. Upney's basically like Dagenham, Barking. I mean, it's Barking, but a little extension of Barking, or a suburb of Barking, I guess it is. So yeah, like it's just crazy. Good to see so many people are like from all these different areas. It's been like rare. I haven't seen many Canning Towns in the chat. Very few of you are actually from Canning, which is good. It makes me feel good. Dagenham Heathway's gone to. I used to work in Dagenham Heathway. Actually, I used to work there, like a place called Savers in the little shop. It's never been in my time. Like as I said, I didn't grow up in Dagenham. It's never been great, Dagenham Heathway. But I did work there. We began to watch Iron Maiden. Scott's supposed to be sorting out tickets for us, but I don't know what's going on. It's in there in the London Stadium, innit? So apparently the prices are crazy, though. Apparently the prices for that are crazy. So yeah, but yeah, so it's good. Like everyone's, you know, fairly like. Hopefully, yeah, if we do this event in Dagenham, then yeah, we can get a load of years down. Hopefully, even you, Miss Amaret, you can find somewhere to stay and like get a hotel and come to our event. You know, they're actually doing the Roundhouse. We haven't spoken to the Roundhouse. I haven't said anything Roundhouse, but I would like it to be the Roundhouse. That's my local, and they've been refurbing it and all of that stuff. Not really a big Oasis. I would like to go to the concert just for the sake of going, but I'm not going to take a ticket from a real fan. I'm not going to take a ticket from a real fan of Oasis. So I'm not going. But I think Nikki is going as Scott's going to Oasis. But yeah, I just don't know. Like, yeah, I respect them, but I never listened to Oasis on purpose. I've never like gone. I kind of did like the other day when it was all up. Let me play some of their songs, and you're like, yeah, I see it, but I just don't know. I can't just sit and listen to Oasis. West Ham fan from Isle of Man. I've never been to Isle of Man. I did watch the Mr. McMahon documentary. It was an eye-opener. Some of the stuff was like all common knowledge we've heard before, but there was some interesting bits. Yeah. I think with a lot of these areas, Matt, they're going to be gentrified and they're just going to go super posh. You know, Mr. McMahon reminds me of David Sullivan. You're doing a new car, so we're looking for the game because I don't think Nikki's at the game, so we're hoping to do a watch along with all of us, like either at a bar or something. So we're looking at logistics, but we're hoping to all get together again and do a group, like all of us do a watch along. So fingers crossed, we'll be working on that. Be down in Millwall country. I remember I was working in Bexley Heath. Is it Bexley Heath? That's Millwall. Yeah, I think it is Bexley Heath. I was working there with my dad years and years ago. My dad, like, helping him do building work, like converting a bank into a casino. When they was all doing that, everything was casinos. Anyway, I didn't know it was Millwall. town. So, you know, as you do, right, let's go out and have a beer. West Ham shirt on. Walk in the pub. As soon as I walk in the pub, I hear, you got some fucking front walking in here with that. I went, what? I was like, it's Millwall pub. I went, what, really? And like, do you know what? All the Millwall fans I've met have been really nice blokes. When we did post-match pint a good few weeks ago, I think it might be the last post-match pint in that bar, not the last post-match pint, the post-match pint before when we did it in that place. There was Millwall fans in there and they was chatting and going, oh, you know, I don't think we'll go up, and oh, West Ham, you know, but it was like nice blokes. Like, they were saying, like, it's a lot of the youngsters that like try to get that, you know, live up to that reputation. Like, I think that's what it is. They get this group of youngsters that want to carry on this legacy of, oh, Millwall win, man, and they go around and do all this crap. But, you know, the old school Millwall fans tend to be, yeah, like you know, pretty solid, decent people. So, and it's a rivalry, and I would love to have Millwall win the Premier League, to have that our actual rivals. And you'd hope after a while they'd calm down and it wouldn't get too silly. But it would be nice to have that. It's been so long. And last time was pretty bad, though. But you'd hope that they'd grow out of that, you know. And, yeah, it is. Yeah, as I said, it's the young ones. And a lot of people have grown up and people realise football's changed. You know, you have your chants and you can have your all of that stuff. And listen, the way I see it, if people want to have a little bit of a scuffle, like, you go somewhere else away from all the public and you know, throw a few punches, and which I honestly don't recommend. I do not recommend fighting on the street. But if people want to do that, that's up to them. But I don't recommend fighting on the street because anything can happen. You get punched, you get knocked out, you crack your head open. You see it all the time, man. Yeah. So, but what I'm saying is, if two people want to do that, that's your choice. Don't start going attacking, you know, civilians that ain't looking to get mixed up in that. That's my problem with a lot of the hooliganism. Do you remember Dream Team? Do you know what? I remember Dream Team. It was at Sky One. I never got into it. Too much CCTV yet. Yeah. So yeah, it is. But yeah, it's one of them ones. I think with the hooliganism, it's never going to be fully there. But you always get idiots. When we went to Europe, like when I was in Zagreb, the bad blue boys were coming after us. Yeah, and it ain't fists, you know. It's like people. It all gets out of hand. So, like I said, it's just not worth it. So, yeah, it'd be nice. Like, it's weird though. It's like they don't. I think they've rigged it so we can't face Millwall. You know, it's so many cup draws. They've pulled out West Ham, and then they'll pull out another team, and then the next team will be Millwall, or vice versa. Pull out Millwall, then they'll pull out another team, and then the team after will be West Ham. So they try and avoid it. But yeah, Millwall, they're always a team that's like on the cusp of the playoffs, but never quite get there. You know, honestly, can we all agree that Noni, Zach Madwake is a shitty winger, only a pace merchant? Bowen needs to own the right wing. Do you know what? Like, I don't know. I think there's some, maybe it is just a pace merchant, and I've been so starved of pace that I kind of rate him. So Millwall were 2 points off the playoffs, so they never quite do it, do they? Millwall. And you know what I hate about Millwall is that chant, the me. Like, how can you seriously, as a grown man, go to a stadium and go me? Like, that's their thing. Good luck to them. With it. But yeah, what we on in the old? Have we got to 100? We got 100 likes. Did we get to the magic number of 100? More, yeah, they bottle it every year. They bottle the playoffs every single time. Yeah, I think I know. Just James, the comedian, does the Millwall West Ham. Yeah, I think I know the one you're talking about. He's done like Palace sketches. He's done like Spurs, West Ham. He's brilliant, that geezer. I really like his stuff. Oh, bloody hell. See, there's the OCD, that little, I want to get to 110 now. 109, not a good number. 110, good number. 113. No, let's get to 115. I'm going to be here all night. 112. Oh, so someone took their like back. Oh. He's a Spurs fan, is he? I thought, are we talking about the same guy? Did he do the one where West Ham and the Spurs fan were asking about who's bigger, and the Arsenal fan goes, "You're both crap," or whatever? And he done the like Palace hooligan one. See, now I need to get to 120. Someone get me to a nice, like, even number. But I know 115 isn't an easy number. It's a nice number. Shout out, Man City. You know what I mean? Yeah, he is the guy. Okay, so I thought he was a Millwall fan. I really thought he was a Millwall fan. I didn't know he was Spurs. But yeah, that he's really good. I think I've seen some clips of his stand-up. His stand-up seems good as well. Like, his stand-up looks decent. So, yeah. So, honestly, Palace Ultra sketch. Yeah, that is brilliant, because that Palace Ultras, that is them in a nutshell. You know what I mean? These fake ultras that Palace have, absolute embarrassments. So, yeah, but this is what I'm saying. It's all jokes. So he takes piss out of us. I laugh at it. You got to be able to laugh at yourself. Some people are so sensitive these days. Do you know what I mean? The world is too bloody sensitive these days. So yeah, I shout out to him. You know, but yeah, I don't know what I really thought he was a Millwall fan. So yeah, but like I said, so I'm gonna try and get together with Nicky. Yeah, he's cringe, the ultra stuff, and Arsenal were trying to do it as well. Arsenal were trying to be the ultras, and honestly, embarrassing. Yeah, they're all like grown men, like, who do accounting, you know, in their job, and they're dressing up in their tight jeans and balaclavas and shit. Like, give me a break. Honestly. Matt Rainey says, shout out to my son, Jet Rainey. Daddy will see you tomorrow. Yeah, shout out to Matt and his son. That's matter. Yeah, it is dad's. It's important. It's important. Yeah, night, Matt. Have a good day with your son tomorrow. Anyway, I'll wrap up. Cheers, Steve. Cheers, everyone. Yeah, so like I said, I'm going to try and do a video with Nick on a Monday. And then we will have Scott doing the preview. And any news, I want to try and do some more, like, boom, breaking news. Let's react to this story that's come out. So a little bit more up to date, and we're not waiting until Fridays. So yeah. Shout out, Charlotte. Good to see you. Better late than never. Hope you're well. You thought you was coming for a fan cam. You was going to come for a fan cam and after the Everton game. Blokes and check-ins. But yeah, so do check out Cyprus Adventures. When I say the video I've edited for my dad, if you're interested in all that sort of stuff. But yeah, like I said, more content is coming. You couldn't find Club Shop. Buy the Club Shop. I was actually doing the fan cams for that game. We buy the Club Shop F. Turnstile F. Bobby Moorend. Yeah, you needed to walk round. So the Arsenal game, if you want to come on the fan cam, we buy the Club Shop outside F. Okay? Just remember that, everyone. So yeah, shout out to Nicky. At least Nicky made it a little bit. And shout out to those American fans that came on the fan cam. What a lovely couple. And they were like, if anyone's ever seen this, the Harry Enfield, like, American sketch. And they're just like, everyone's like, oh, it's so great. I love it. They were like the stereotypical Americans. They're absolutely lovely people. So yeah, they was a joy, and people really resonated with their fan cam. If you didn't see it, just like, it was after the Everton game, and they were just talking about just how much they love being at the stadium. And I was like, we always shit on it and we take it for granted, because, you know, we know, you know, for them to come and be supporting the club for 42 years and to get their first West Ham game, even though it was a crap game and they were just happy to be there, that was lovely. That was absolutely lovely. So yeah, do check that out. But yeah, I hope you have a good weekend. I really enjoyed just chatting to you guys. I really enjoy it. I love the community we have here, and that's what keeps this going, even when it gets, you know, a bit tough to do the channel and life gets on top. It's just this community, it makes you want to keep doing it, you know, keep the channel alive, because yeah, I love it. You guys are great. So yeah, I hope you have a great weekend, and we will keep more stuff coming out for you guys, and build and grow from there. Things are looking up, and hopefully we'll see you on a Monday. Have a good weekend, and check out Scott's music video if you haven't seen it yet. That is up there. Scott's one and only. But thanks for chatting with me, everyone, and thanks for a great show. And one thing left to say: come on, you Irons! Oh shit! Come on, you Irons!